you look at Atal Setu, this is the way it has been created and the way it has curtailed time. No, this is marvelous. These kind of things I had seen overseas, that how it was happening. Today I see it happening in India. The kilometers of road which have been constructed over last 10 years, it is phenomenal. Trails which are competing with any global train in the world, those kind of trails are getting introduced. The railway platforms are getting transformed. Railway stations are getting transformed. Maharashtra is that way because of its policies and other advantages which we have. Bombay, Pune being the hub, we have attracted a lot of investment in the financial sector and the IT sector.
Welcome to the Viksit Maharashtra Viksit Bharat podcast. Today we are honored to have Mr. Hari P. Srivastava, founder, director and vice chairman of the Deccan Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture here in Pune. With over 3 decades of experience across HR, commercial and legal sectors in India and abroad, Mr. Srivastava has made significant contributions to industry and trade. We are excited to hear his insights on Maharashtra's development and his vision for India's future. Welcome to the Viksit Maharashtra Viksit Bharat podcast. So let us start with your journey. Can you give us an overview over the years about the industrial landscape of Maharashtra?
See, if I have to look at, and if I particularly look at this industrial belt, so particularly this industrial belt on east side, it was declared D-zone by government of Maharashtra in 1994. So at that point of time, I can vividly recall there were a large number of issues relating to roads, electricity, telephone. To the extent, if I tell you that from Pune, if I had to call to the industrial area, which was just 20 kilometer, 25 kilometer away, we had to make a STD call. So the call was going from here to a junction in Navara, and from there the call was being directed to this. But there was the STD code which you had to dial, and then only you could connect. So things have moved a great deal in last 30 years. What I see today is totally different than what it was in 93, 94, when this industrial belt, particularly on the eastern side of the Pune, was getting developed. So I can relate it. I can see the development in last 30 years.
All right. Sir, so when I come to properties, so when I was traveling to Pune, saw a lot of properties being developed along the way. And this entire stretch has always been a builder's favorite area.
Correct.
So when we talk about Pimpri Chinchwad, so there were properties which they have been transformed into freehold properties. So how do you see the impact of this over economically weaker sections?
Pune, if you see, the growth has been quite substantial in last about 3 decades, which I have seen. The population also has grown up significantly. A lot of areas which were out of the city, and where if you had to commute, the auto rickshaws will not go there. In the night, you have to pay the half return fare. And then only the auto rickshaws will come there. Today, all those areas have almost come into the center of the city. They are the buzzing hub. Okay, so that is what has happened to the population and the real estate side here. The real estate also has become quite costly over a period of time. But when you compare it with the cost of real estate in Bombay, it is much cheaper today also. The real estate in Pune is much cheaper than Bombay. And the distance between Pune and Bombay getting basically the time of basically traveling this distance from Pune to Bombay, as it is getting collapsed. The Pune's growth is going to be much more because you can live in Pune, and if you have working in Bombay, you can travel there in 2 hours. You might as well will think of rather than staying in Bombay, I stay here. The real estate prices here are substantially lower than what we have in Bombay. And as regards to a particular question, So I have to tell you in a basic sense, any land, if it is converted from leasehold land to freehold land, it is always advantageous, be it a poor section of the society or upper section of the society. Because what it means that once it is made from leasehold to freehold, they don't have to pay any lease rental, etc., however nominal it may be. And later on, over a period of time, maybe 30 years, 60 years, 90 years later, they don't see any problem, maybe the next generation coming in and living there. So it's always an encouraging thing that whatever you are leaving for the next generation, it is not riddled with certain restriction of years. It's a freehold property. So it's always good.
Sir, so we got to know that over 11,000 families have been empowered because of this step.
Correct.
So do you think this has been a step that...
Definitely, I would say such more steps are required and more such leasehold land which are there, which they should be converted to freehold land.
So my next question, since we discussed Pune, so Maharashtra as a state, it has been a key player in the smart cities mission, and we have seen Pune, Nagpur, these cities being transformed, even Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar for that matter. So how do you see the business opportunities and urban living transform because of the smart cities mission?
You see, we have to look at total scenario exactly. Maharashtra per se, it contributes about 13% of GDP of India. Okay, and if you look at the total geographical area of Maharashtra, you will find that Bombay, Pune, and Nagpur, they contribute significantly towards the industry. Then you have tier 2 cities and tier 3 cities as well. Okay, so this build-up of infrastructure, in a way, it will happen that the tier 2 cities and tier 3 cities will also be getting more opportunities because of a better infrastructure coming in. So the tier 1 basically where we place Bombay, Pune and Nagpur, they should be elevated higher. 2 will come and take their space. So that way the opportunities there will also increase. More industries will come in those areas as well. And the tier 3 cities also, the same thing will happen.
What about rapid expansion of metro network as well? So this is something that has been happening across cities in Maharashtra. How do you see this contributing to urban mobility? And maybe what about its impact on industrial growth?
See, as I said earlier, that passage of time, the population has grown. Population has grown, it means the number of vehicles on the road have also grown substantially. Even though you are making basically roads or you are widening the roads, it has a limitation. Okay. So for long travel and for other distances, metro is the best thing which has happened. And metro is contributing not only reducing the number of vehicles on the road, but also if you say from the industrial perspective, it should be also helping people commuting from their place to factories or the area where they are working. So that way, on the industry side, because most of the industries are outside Pune, okay, if the metro can contribute in taking them their home to their workplace which are outside, that will be a great achievement.
So you feel more expansion should be happening?
More expansion. Today you have metro, so you have covered within the city. I would say it should go further. And it should cover industrial town as well. So whichever are the industrial town in and around Pune, if we cover them as well, then you have people who are leaving their home and reaching their workplace at a much lesser time than it is done today because of the bus commuting.
So last mile connectivity.
Yes. So for them, the life becomes much easier. Today, if a person is commuting from an industrial belt, from Ranjangaon to Pune, because of the traffic and other things, it takes about 2.5 hours for him to come from Ranjangaon industrial belt to Pune, which is about 50 kilometers from here. If the metro is extended till Ranjangaon, so all the industrial clusters which are falling in between, they are all connected. So that way their commuting time will be reduced in a big way. It's going to be a big project. I believe the flyover or other things are coming up. But my suggestion will be that wherever we can connect metro to the industrial areas, that we must try and do.
Sir, since you spoke about connecting all the industrial areas, now the government recently, the Samruddhi Mahamarg Expressway was inaugurated. So how do you see this massive infrastructure projects? How is it boosting the industry and trade in across 10 districts in Maharashtra?
You see, what happens that from industry perspective, movement of raw material and finished goods are very critical. If the roads are better and the time for movement of the raw material or goods are reduced, this is always beneficial, not only for the industry, even for the transporters as well, because where he is able to do 4 rounds in 1 week, he can do 6 rounds in a week. So that way the cost also is brought down. So better commuting time is going to reduce the time of the transporters as well. And I feel they will be able to have more turnaround of their vehicles if the infrastructure is better, road is better, and to industry it is going to contribute because the raw material you need in time, you need finished goods moving in time, and those times can be collapsed. It is definitely contributing to the growth of trade and industry.
Sir, I would like to ask your personal experience. Over the years, you have seen Maharashtra grow. So, how have you seen the road network transform? Because right now there are numerous infrastructure projects taking place where a road network is being expanded across the state. So, what difference have you seen in the pace of these projects coming up and the completion of them?
See, what I would say, lot of massive projects on this side, which I had seen overseas, I see it today in India. If you look at Atal Setu, this is the way it has been created and the way it has curtailed time. No, this is marvelous. These kind of thing I had seen overseas, that how it was happening. Today I see it happening in India. So this is a great stride which we have made on that side. Second thing is also, whenever I used to travel abroad, I will see that if you have a toll, you just your car will just whiz away. You don't have to stop there because it will pick up the barcode on the screen and the toll is automatically paid. In India, the scenario was totally different. We had to stop at the toll, we had to pay the toll, which was a manual process, and it used to consume time. Okay. Today, the same thing is happening here. You are moving, your car is moving, you don't have to pay manually, everything is electronically, money is transmitted electronically, and your car is moving. So all these things are, I would say, the great steps towards the progress of the infrastructure. Second thing, very important, is that overseas I had seen that wherever the airports are there, the railway stations or metro stations are closer. So you get down from the airport and same trolley, you could take it to the metro station. Your luggage is going into the same trolley, and you take your luggage from the trolley and put it into metro. So literally you don't have anything to do from the airport till the railway station. Now this thing is now coming up in India. Many metro stations are now close to the airport, and you can see the similar thing happening here. You get down from the aircraft, take your luggage, move to the metro station, put your luggage into the metro and move. So this is something which I was not seeing in India. Today I can see it at many places. Same thing being happening here, which is a great thing.
Sir, do you think this has been when the Modi government says that India needs to make and India is making world-class infrastructure, do you think we are making world-class infrastructure?
See, today, as I told you, I gave you the example of Atal Setu. There are similar many examples where you will see the world-class infrastructure has been made. And if you see the kilometers of road which have been constructed over last 10 years, it is phenomenal. The number of kilometers which we have covered in last 10 years is phenomenal. So that way, you see the roads, the kilometers of road. On the train side, you see the trains which are competing with any global train in the world. Those kind of trains are getting introduced. The railway platforms are getting transferred. Railway stations are getting transformed. So all those things put together, if you see, those are contributing as a whole. You are not focusing just on the road. You are also focusing on the railways. You are also focusing on basically the trains which are moving. You're focusing what kind of infrastructure you are going to have the platform. 5 years or earlier, whenever you see, when you go to a platform, you will see that you will think, oh, what will be the scene on a platform and what will be the scene on the airport. Okay, if you compare the scene on the platform and scene on the airport, there used to be a vast difference. Today, the kind of facility which you are thinking at the airport, same kind of facilities are being provided, are aimed to be being provided at the railway station. If those kind of railway stations are here, that is a great transformation, I would say.
When we speak of Maharashtra, across India, this is happening, but 1,000 kilometers of railway projects are taking place in Maharashtra. So how do you see this impacting the trade and commerce, the industry, especially when it comes to the expansion of railway networks?
See, railway network is helpful always, and it complements to your road. And second thing is, it lessens the pressure on the road. But what we have to see, that we have railway network, but the time which is taken to move the goods from one place to another place, that should be brought down to the least, because that is where it is said that if you put on the railway, it will take so many days. If you put it on the trucks, it will reach in so many days. The number of the hours or days being taken for moving the goods from one place to another place by railway, and when you compare with the trucks, those number of days or hours need to be reduced and brought to a level where they are competing with the same on the tracks. Then only it is going to be beneficial.
Sir, what about ports? Because ports expansion also is something that is going to impact logistics directly. So what do you have to say about that?
See, one thing is very clear. If India is aiming to become a 5 trillion economy, okay, the role of exports is very crucial in this. So unless exports are contributing significantly in this, you can't achieve this figure. If you look at the historical figure, the growth in the previous year, the figures will tell you that whenever the exports have contributed significantly, the growth has been, the GDP growth has been substantial. So this is very much correlated. Now, if you have to look at, you have to see that the ports are also brought to that level where they are able to handle this kind of traffic, which is very important. So we have been seeing, especially many times, the port congestion. I have seen in my many years where during the March, you will see the trucks are waiting for 4 days, 5 days at the gate of the port to enter. And you will
Why was that, sir?
see what was happening. The ports were not able to handle the capacity. So they had limited capacity and the goods were coming from all over. So unless the port is cleared for the containers which are lying there and the goods which are already moving, then the next goods can be moved in. So the fast turnaround, the thing can be, you have the area where the goods can be kept in. So the expansion is required to cater to this growth of the goods which are coming in. So otherwise, if you are not quickly moving the goods, or you don't have area where the goods can be stored, or you don't have those many container depots where goods can be kept for moving inside, you are going to find the congestion. So ideal time is, anytime any truck is coming at the port gate, it should immediately move in. That is the kind of scenario which should be there, whether it is a month of March or any other month. There should not be any waiting time for any vehicle at the port gate to get in. So I think the expansion of port is extremely essential from that perspective, that we are able to handle that kind of traffic which we are envisaging will come from the growth of export.
So do you think this turnaround, the waiting time has been reduced when it comes to our ports in the last couple of years with the efforts that the government is making towards expansion of ports? Has this time reduced?
No, definitely. If I look earlier years, and especially in the month of March or during peak time, the congestion time was much higher. The congestion time has come down. But I believe that the more expansion what is taking place, the ideal situation is there should not be any congestion. Any goods coming in should go into the port immediately, and any goods arriving at the port should move out immediately.
Sir, what do you have to say about Maharashtra's strategic role in India's overall economic ambitions when we talk about logistics movement through dedicated freight corridors? For example, the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, which is being made. So what do you have to say? How can Maharashtra contribute in India's overall economic ambition?
You see, as I said, export. And when you say export, the logistic is very much relevant to that. Now, if you look at the logistic cost in India, it is one of the highest in the world. Okay. And if the exports have to be competitive, the logistic cost have to be brought down. Otherwise, it is having a telling effect on your competitiveness in the global market. So in that sense, if your dedicated corridors, if they are compressing the time and if they are resulting into the saving of the cost, in turn, it is going to reduce the logistic cost. And then, in turn, it is going to be reducing the overall cost of the logistics, and which is the aim. So definitely these are going to help in reducing the overall logistic cost.
Sir, when we talk about ease of doing business,
Yes.
so there have been introduction of single window clearance system has happened. So how do you see such reforms? How have they helped attract investments to the state?
You see, the ease of doing business, Maharashtra is one of the prominent state where basically investment is attracted. Okay. But the basic thing is this, that if we have to grow and if we are looking the kind of growth which we should be making to contribute to the overall vision of achieving 5 trillion economy, then a lot needs to be done in this regard. So on the ease of doing business front, we have to see that if you are looking at single window, it should be effective in that way. If you are saying it should be really a single window system. Now in Maharashtra, the government came in with a very good act, I think 2023, Maharashtra Trade and Investment Act. This is a very good act, and it was making the Development Commissioner and the Matri as a nodal agency, that wherever all the application, all the permission are moved through Matri, and wherever the relevant departments are not able to give you the license or the permission within a stipulated period of time, the Development Commissioner and the empowered committee therein had the powers to overrule and give you the license. In case of delay, they could ask the question. And very importantly, that if you are pointing out any deficiency, it should not be piecemeal. All the deficiencies in the application should be pointed out in one go. So very good act, but the implementation of this act has still not taken place. The rules are still not been done. So though this particular act has come in about a year and a half ago, but it is still not effective. It is still not put into place. I feel whatever is done to see that the actual single window system is coming to industry should be done. Government has already formulated a law. That law should be implemented and it should achieve what it intended to achieve by bringing that act.
Sir, what about overall, when I talk to you about pan-India situation in this regard, simplified regulations, there have been many acts and many such regulations which have been simplified by the government. So how do you see it impacting the overall work processes in the country?
You see, if I talk about the overall laws which are affecting the industry. Okay. So there are the total sections, etc. told they are running into thousands of sections and all that, and the labor laws have been there. So government has tried to make the effort to codify these wages into 4 main heads, and by this around 27, 28 acts will be a part of these 4. So that way, that simplification the government has tried, that is still coming in. The act have been notified, the rules are being made, and I hope that those will make the life easy so far as the labor law reforms are concerned.
Sir, moving on to MSMEs. So I think over 30 lakh MSMEs have registered under the Udyam portal. So what do you have to say about the role of such enterprises in boosting Maharashtra's industrial scene?
See, in Maharashtra, it is not 30, it is 40.
Oh.
To be precise, about 48.5. These are the MSMEs. 48.5 lakhs of MSMEs are there in Maharashtra. And but if you do an analysis, you will find that out of 48.5 lakhs of MSMEs, about 47.25 are the micro industries. And then you have about a lakh the small scale industries, and the about 18,000 the medium scale industries. Now, the need of all these industries are different. If you look at micro industries, their needs are totally different because they are coming between 1 to 5 crores in that bracket. Their startups are there. They may be having an idea. They may be starting it. Sometime it may not be successful. So the MSMEs are contributing a great deal in total economy of the state as well as the total economy of the country as well. But the MSME, the ecosystem, we have to see that ecosystem and other things which are required to nurture these MSMEs, we need to put in place. Lot of steps have been taken in this direction. The improvements are still being made. And I hope that more steps will be taken by the government to provide an ecosystem to the MSMEs where they can nurture, and a micro unit can become a small scale, and a small scale can become a medium scale can become a large scale. By having this and attracting more entrepreneurs also to come within this, start the industry, because we have to tell them, you come, start. In case it is not working out, the ease of closure is also equally important. Ease of startup is fine. You have to see if a venture is not working out, that guy should not feel that, yes, now I am finished. This venture is finished, I am finished. No, you tried a venture has not succeeded. You can close the venture and you can move on. Because many times one venture has not succeeded, second has not succeeded. People have succeeded in fifth venture. Fourth venture was utter failure. And fifth venture were mega success. So all these are part of life. So all this ecosystem need to be created in that way. I think government has taken a lot of steps, and steps are also still being taken. I'm quite sure that we will have that.
Sir, what do you have to say about the importance of digitalization? Because when I spoke about this many lakh MSMEs that have registered under the Udyam portal. So we have known about Udyam portal, we have known about GEM portal. So all of these digitization efforts that have been made by the government, what do you have to say about it?
See, this is one of the major difference, I have to say. Digitization is a major difference. What was happening earlier, if you had to start an industry, or you wanted to set up a company, or you wanted to take any license under any act or any permission, you had to submit the application on paper. It will be submitted there, and you will not get to know what is happening to it. Or you have got only an acknowledgement, then you go to the office, inquire what is happening to your application. Today, under most of the act, most of the permission licenses, you can apply it online. You have the acknowledgement online. Okay. And the progress also, you will be able to monitor in most of the cases what is happening to your application is online. Second thing, what happens when it is on a digital platform, people who are higher ups, they can also monitor. They earlier in the paper system, they could see an application when the file was brought to them. Okay. Today, when an application is filed, head of the department sitting, he can see this application has been filed. And if it has not moved, he can also question why this application has not moved. So this is a major difference, digitization. The movement of application, acknowledgement, time-bound permission, movement of the file, all these things you can monitor and you can see.
So, sir, when Prime Minister Modi says that about transparency and accountability in the system, So do you think that intent of his has translated in process?
Absolutely. When I say that you are filing your application, okay, and if you know how your application is progressing, and this is a transparency, and there is nothing that unless the clerk is putting up the file to the next higher up, your file is not moving. That's not the case today. Your file, the moment you have filed an application, it has gone to everyone in the hierarchy. Only thing they will be approving when it will be coming to them, but they can see that their application is there with the person below him. So that's a transparency. And they can question that why this application has not been cleared from your desk.
So from your experience, have you seen accountability improve in the system?
Definitely. Definitely. I have seen many places when you are making an application, you are able to see the reply will be definitely coming to you because there is a time-bound thing. If they are not replying in those times, there are internal system, the file moves to the next higher-ups. So everybody is responsible in that way to see that the file is cleared or whatever is the status is known to the applicant. So there is an accountability system inbuilt there.
Sir, when we talk about Maharashtra's manufacturing ecosystem, so Maharashtra has been a key player in the Make in India initiative, as we know. And it has also managed to attract significant foreign investment. So how do you think the government's policies have contributed to this? Rather, government's pro-business policies, how have they contributed to this?
You see, Maharashtra has attracted a lot of investment, but there is still a lot of scope when we compare ourselves to the other states. Okay. So, a lot of areas, if we bring a little bit more improvement, we can attract much more investment.
Areas like?
Like whenever basically investor is approaching, okay, you are having a discussion, try to convert it into MOU and think very fast rather than taking little bit more time, because what happens, he has not only come to you, he has gone to other states as well. So whichever state is converting it faster into MOU, they take the investment. So that is where we have to see that we convert it faster wherever it is there. And also we have to have a roadmap very clear that all the industries and investors which will be coming, how we are gearing up. Because you see the kind of economy which we are aiming at, if we are aiming that kind of economy, we will be needing about 1 lakh to 1,20,000 square yards of land for setting up that kind of industry and services center, etc. We will be also needing improvement in the ease of business, which I said, which people are looking at today. They can compare this state with any other state. So people are looking at that. Energy, we have to see the power is whatever power we require today, and whatever power we will be requiring to move to the next phase to contribute or becoming 1 trillion economy Maharashtra is aiming. So we are contributing, and the skill development, the people who are required for the industries, for the services, etc. Those kind of skills are developed. So we have to see that we are there in all those four to attract the investment. And I believe the Maharashtra government is doing all that, and we are attracting the investment.
Sir, can you tell us a little bit about the existing policies when it comes to when we say pro-business policies? What are the kind of existing policies in the state that are helping with the investment climate, and what do you see a scope of improvement in such policies? Are there any reforms you would like to suggest?
See, every state has an industrial policy where the subsidies and incentives are given. Maharashtra is also having a policy where the subsidies and incentives are given. So it's not lacking in that. But what we have to see that these incentives and the subsidies are disbursed in the least possible time and least possible of effort. That is where I believe that is an area of improvement, that we make sure that these incentives and these subsidies are disbursed in least possible time to them.
All right. Sir, and what about the startup ecosystem? When we talk about Maharashtra, it has 100 plus unicorns. So what do you have to say about the creation of startup ecosystem here? How have various policies of the government helped in creating this ecosystem?
See, if you look at Maharashtra per se, and if you look at in the total contribution, you will find that roughly around 13% of GVA is contributed by agriculture. About 16% is by industry, and 59% is from services. And if you look at the unicorn, most of it are service related. And Maharashtra is that way because of its policies and other advantages which we have. Bombay, Pune being the hub, we have attracted a lot of investment in the financial sector and the IT sector. You see the financial hubs and IT hubs which are contributing significantly to this. So we have to have we are having the natural advantages, and we are having basically the achievement, I say, where the unicorns are from this place. So we have to see that we continue providing those kind of incentives and the ecosystem to them where they nurture, and also we provide them the skilled manpower, for which also the government has come up with the scheme there where the lot of people are being taken as an intern, trainee, etc. to train that. Government has seriously taken up this issue, state of Maharashtra as well as central government also, to see that we develop the skill and create more employable youth rather than just the educated youth. You are creating now educated and employable youth, which is the requirement not only for the manufacturing industry, for the service industry as well.
Sir, I think we have had a wonderful discussion. I would like to ask you for your closing remarks on the overall journey to Viksit Bharat. So as you know, India aspires to be a developed nation by 2047 as put forth by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So when we talk about Viksit Maharashtra, what are the areas where you see Maharashtra can contribute in a major way to India's journey?
You see, as I told right in the beginning, Maharashtra is the major contributor to the country GDP. If we have to achieve 5 million in 5 years, Maharashtra has to achieve 1 trillion. Maharashtra has to become 1 trillion economy. And to become 1 trillion economy, it has to grow at the rate of 14-15%. We have been growing at the rate of 8 to 9%. Okay. And we have to attract the investment in the range of 200 to 250 billion. The relevance of this figure you would know when I say from 14 to 19, we attracted 48 billion. So we have to attract 200 to 250 billion of investment in Maharashtra and grow at this rate to contribute significantly in the vision which we are having for India.
Sir, I will quickly add one question, and I think whether we put it, that will be upon you. I'll just ask it anyway. Sir, what do you have to say about political instability, and how does it deter good governance? Because when it comes to political instability and climate as such, there are, the governance gets hampered. All of these policies, all the reforms that are taken, they get hampered. So how do you see it negatively impacting growth?
You see, political instability is never good for a conducive environment. Because what happens that you have put certain rules, regulation, vision in place, and you don't know whether you are able to going to implement that or not. So for that, a stable government is definitely required. Otherwise, most of the things which you pronounce as your vision or mission, they remain on paper, they never get executed. So you must have a full tenure to realize that vision and mission which you pronounced, that this is what you are going to bring. So for that, you must have that time. You have pronounced this, you do not have a time, you do not know whether you will be there tomorrow. How will you do this? So you will be busy only in firefighting. So if we have to implement this, a stable government is definitely required. There is absolutely no other say about it.
All right. Sir, thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights with us today.
Pleasure. Thank you. It has been pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned for more discussions that bring us closer to a Viksit Bharat and Viksit Maharashtra.